All right, sports fans, how's everybody out there doing? William Martin coming at you one more time here on YouTube with another edition of the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge Podcast. So, the Denver Broncos season came to an end today, but for anybody who follows the Broncos, in my opinion, they should not be upset, even though the things did not work out for them today against the Buffalo Bills, as there are truly brighter days ahead for the Orange Crush. Now, Sean Payton just wrapped up his second season as the Broncos head coach, and after making Denver respectable in 2023, because they did finish the season with a record of 8-9. And he did it with a quarterback for the most part that he didn't want, and Russell Wilson. And now he got his guy, or he has his guy, in rookie Bo Nix. And at the end of the day, it's all systems go for this franchise right now. Nix just wrapped up a strong rookie season as he completed more than 66% of his passes during the regular season. He also threw 29 touchdowns and 12 interceptions. And even in today's loss to the Bills, Nix did show some flashes that he is going to be the guy for the years to come in Denver. So for Sean Payton, a guy who has won a Super Bowl as the head coach of the New Orleans Saints, now he feels like he has his version of Drew Brees, the starting quarterback that he had a lot of success with in New Orleans. He's got Bo Nix now. Okay, Bo Nix is a guy very accurate with the ball. He's going to throw the ball into the windows where Sean Payton wants it to go. And aside from all of that, to me, this playoff run by Denver was very impressive. Once you factor in that they had nearly $90 million in dead cap money after cutting Russell Wilson last offseason, as Sean Payton is a tremendous coach, and he is showing why the Walton family coveted him so much to be their head coach. Denver has a stout defense, albeit not today in the 31-7 loss to the Bills, but nonetheless, if you are the Broncos and you've gotten yourself a taste of the postseason, it's going to be interesting to see if Denver is going to be able to build off of that, and I truly believe that they will. First things first, on offense, it's all about continuing to put the pieces around your young quarterback in Bo Nix. Plain and simple, this guy is the future for this team. There's no ifs, ands, or buts about it. Clearly, Denver wants to help him avoid that coveted, or not really coveted, dreaded sophomore jinx. So that's going to be a big thing that the Broncos look to build upon in the offseason. Also, closing that gap on the Kansas City Chiefs in the AFC West. We saw the Chiefs go 15-2 this season. Denver played the Chiefs very, very tough this season. They came within a blocked field goal of knocking off the champs at Arrowhead earlier this season. Of course, they finished their regular season, the Broncos did, with a 38-0 win at home over the Chiefs, albeit it was against the Chiefs backups. But the Broncos are looking to close that gap, and that's going to be important for Denver going forward. Taking the next step, just like it is with the Chiefs, as far as being able to rub elbows with the big boys in the NFL, and more importantly, the big boys in the AFC. Okay, because this was a taste of what Denver is going to have to overcome today, because Buffalo, you saw they got down early. It was kind of like been there, done that. They didn't waver, and they turned it up, and it was a slow, methodical beatdown of the Broncos. And it was one of those where Denver had an opportunity to get some points just before the end of the first half, and that missed field goal really hurt them. Buffalo getting the ball to start the second half, and you know Denver's inability defensively to get off the field, and of course, once they had the ball, they really couldn't do that much with it in the second or third quarters for that part. You think about it; it's hard to beat anybody in football at any level when you only possess the football in a 60-minute game for 18 minutes, like the Broncos did today. But nonetheless, they've got to find a way to get to that next level. And you think about it, they lost against some of the AFC the AFC's elite teams this season that they struggled. They lost at home to Pittsburgh earlier in the season. They got throttled by Baltimore, the tough loss to Kansas City, and then of course losing today to Buffalo. Rather, these are the teams that if you're the Broncos, you're going to have to get over the hump against in the AFC if you are going to take that next step. Now, early on, like I said, Denver and Bo Nix, they showed that they were not afraid of being on the playoff stage, scoring that early touchdown that somewhat silenced the crowd up there in Orchard Park. But again, once the Bills got going on all facets of the game, Denver simply could not keep up. But like I said before, clearly Sean Payton is the right guy for Denver. And of course, they have their quarterback now as Bronco Mania is back. And of course, the Bronco fan base, to me, in my opinion, is one of the most loyal fan bases in the National Football League. And of course, this was the longest playoff drought that we've seen in quite some time for the Denver Broncos. Not since their inception as an AFL franchise back in 1960, and of course, they didn't make the playoffs until '77 the first time. But ever since then, consistently Denver has been in the postseason, and this was their first taste of the postseason since winning Super Bowl number 50 at the end of the 2015 NFL season. So, nonetheless, these Bronco fans are happy. I don't think anybody associated with this organization should be upset because there are truly brighter days ahead for this franchise, in my opinion. The AFC West is going to be extremely fun for the next several years. You still got the Kansas City Chiefs. They are the top dogs there. The Los Angeles Chargers. I know that their season came to an end yesterday at the hands of the Houston Texans, but in my opinion, they, like the Broncos, are in the right hands with a veteran head coach in Jim Harbaugh. And then, of course, you've got the Denver Broncos as well. So, nonetheless, I think the key is for Denver to look to build off of that playoff run, keep building their ground game, keep putting the pieces around your talent, your young and talented quarterback on offense in Bo Nix. And then, of course, that defense that simply can get after you. This, to me, this comes with part of the growing pains for this team. The Broncos, they haven't, basically most of the guys on this roster right now, they didn't know what postseason football was until today. Okay, so they've gotten their taste, and now they've got to find a way to build off of that. And I think with Sean Payton at the helm and George Payton running the front office as well, and Bo Nix as the quarterback, Denver is truly in good hands. It's only one team at the end of each NFL season that is going to finish their season smiling, and they're going to be the only team that finishes the season with a W. Clearly, it wasn't in the cards this year for the Broncos, but still tremendous strides. You got to the postseason. You got a taste of playoff life, and now let's see if Denver and Sean Payton can build off of that for the 2025 season. But folks, that is going to wrap it up. And as always, I want to take this time out to thank each and every one of you for tuning into the 300 Pounds of Sports Knowledge podcast here on YouTube. I want to take this time out to thank all of you fine folks out there for tuning in. And if you haven't already, please feel free to subscribe to this channel. Now, if you're on the X, formerly known as Twitter, please feel free to follow me at 300 Pounds of Sports. And like I always say, if you follow me, it will be my pleasure to follow you right back. There's also the sports discussion group on Facebook at the Sports Depot 365. Now you can check it out. Drop a line and be a part of one of the better sports debating sites going on social media. So once again, fine folks, my name is William Martin, and I am signing off. And I'm saying take care and have yourselves a wonderful day.